So the first challenge of vision is to connect yourself personally with your vision. So if you create a fancy, I mean, you guys have probably seen, there's a lot of fancy vision statements in corporations and organizations, and most of the time there's a tremendous disconnect with the vision statement. And in most of the cases, people don't even know what it is. They actually have to go and pull it out of the drawer or go and read it on a wall somewhere. And the primary reason for that is that the leaders, in an organizational context, it's the senior leaders, are not connected themselves with the vision. They've gone away to some kind of consultant process where they put together a vision statement because it's the done thing. And it's a kind of, when it comes from that place of it's the done thing, it's a heady thing. It's like, oh yeah, tick that box. It's a management approach to leadership, the best way of saying it. It's not coming from a place of connected heart passion. Oh, this is what I want to create. So what we're finding more and more with working with vision with groups and organizations is a challenge to help leaders connect. Not to create more fancy vision statements, it's to connect with the vision. What is it that you want to create? And your question, Lee, was about is it a personal, are we looking at our personal vision or are we looking at our organizational vision? You can't really separate them. And you shouldn't really separate them. Of course, they'll express differently. But if you can't feel connected with your team's vision or your organizational vision, then there's no ways, as a leader particularly, there's no ways you can be visionary. It's impossible. The best you can do is try and lead through a management approach, more tick boxes, more tick boxes. And that's not, in the survey around what people want from leaders, they want an inspirational leader. Well, if you ain't inspired, you ain't going to be inspirational. Pretty simple. So the challenge for leaders, again, is to connect. And how to connect is usually looking at your past. Just looking at what has inspired you through your life. It's connecting the dots of what's inspired you. And then finally, formulating, well, if I look at my past and what inspires me, what is it that I want to create? What's the legacy I want to leave? And this can also be quite a vulnerable exercise. So when you're standing there and you express a vision to people in your team, you're kind of putting your heart out on the line. You're saying, this is what I really, really, really care about. And people may laugh at you. There may be cynics. In fact, a lot of the time there will be cynics. And it's to stay the course through the cynicism is the challenge for leaders. So it's really a heartfelt thing, vision. What is it that I care about? What is it I want to create in this team? How do I want to make a difference? And I can still cut through the exhaustion and the cynicism to create that. And then the next piece on vision is creating a connection with your vision and your team members' aspirations. So if your team members are really not into your vision, and they don't get it, and they can't see what's in it for them, then you're not going to get traction. So the next skill around vision is to understand, help team members understand how they can have their own personal interests realized by the achievements. What's in it for them? And it's a useful question to ask team members. Okay, here's my vision. Well, what's in it for you, do you reckon, if we achieve this? Because ultimately each person is driven by what's in it for them. And we need to be realistic about that. So those are the two, in summary, those are the two key pieces of vision. It's to be authentic. It needs to be real. It needs something you're willing to sacrifice for, that you care deeply enough about to create. And then it needs to tap in to the deeper aspirations of your own team members. And unfortunately, or fortunately, part of that's actually getting to learn what your team members' aspirations are. Finding it out and then creating that shared vision statement.